the Yanceys, Nadia and Taj, and they've agreed to be interviewed. It talks about young ones in school and how they carry this out. Now, you guys aren't presently in school, but you recently were, and you no doubt know the challenges, and they have had to face the challenges that our young ones today have to face in school. So we're going to ask you a few questions. The first question, it asks the challenges that you have faced in school. So, Taj, what challenges have you had to face in school?
Well, I face a challenge that a lot of students have to face in school, and popularity served as an issue. And the Bible says in James 4 that friendship with the world can be enmity with God. So that can serve as an issue because when you are in that crowd, then it can be hard not to adapt to some of the customs of the world. So that was a problem that I had.
Okay. Now, what helped you to overcome that? Did you receive any help?
Yes, through prayer and talking to my parents and studying through the Young People Ask book, that helped me to realize that that wasn't the path that I wanted to go down.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Sometimes it's better just to be one of the numbers. Naya, how about you? Challenges that you faced?
Well, mine was almost the opposite. I had a challenge with fitting in. I felt as if I needed to be around people and I needed to be in a crowd. And that was detrimental because I also became a follower of those people. And that was not very good for my spirituality.
Yeah, the worldly kids aren't worth imitation, are they? So how did you overcome that?
Well, I didn't even realize it until my mother kindly pointed it out to me. And then I began to notice it. So I didn't want to be a part of that anymore. And I prayed to Jehovah, and eventually I became okay with the fact that I didn't need to be around people that much.
Okay, good. So your mom was doing her job, right? You saw that subtle effect on you and helped you to see the outcome of it. Any other challenges that you could think of?
Well, dating can be a challenge. So when you're young and in middle school, there can be a lot of pressure to date. And it can be hard to resist the pressure, but it was overcome.
Okay. And help? Did you receive any help?
Yeah, I talked to my mom about it, and she pointed out that that was not something that I wanted to do at all, because it would not have benefited me in the long run.
Okay, excellent, good. And how about you, Naya? Any more?
Well, it was around 6th grade, and kids were starting to use profanity more and more, so I felt like, well, I don't really see the harm in it. So I started doing it, but then my conscience started bothering me, and I'm like, well, maybe if my conscience is bothering you, then something must be wrong with it. So I went to my mother, and I told her everything, and she told me that the only person that I really needed to fear was Jehovah, and because he knows all, he hears all, and he sees all, so she, I guess you could say, literally put the fear of God in me. And so, and also the different talks at the conventions and assemblies that talked about profanity not being ungodly. So I went in prayer to Jehovah and asked him to help me not want to do that anymore.
Okay, excellent. So did your mom get excited when you told her what you were doing?
Well, I guess so, because I believe she felt that I could go to her about anything, and I was not, I was able to speak to her on matters like that, and at first I thought that she would yell, rightfully so, but she was very calm about it, and she spoke to me in a well-mannered way.
Reasoned with you.
Yeah, she reasoned with me, so that really helped the situation also.
Okay, good. Now, how about when you were younger? Were there any things that you could think of you faced when you were younger?
Yeah, when I was younger, there was a lot of trouble with birthdays, because when you're younger and there's a birthday at school, all the time, people bring sweets and cupcakes and candy to school. Yeah, really. So when that happens, my mom used to give me sweets to take to school so I could eat those some other time and to tell me to avoid eating the cupcakes that other kids brought to school. And when people ask me why I didn't celebrate my birthday and why I wouldn't help them celebrate theirs, I will tell them Jesus, in the Bible, Jesus never celebrated his birthday, so why should I? I'm not as important as him.
That's authentic. But you overcame that, right? You didn't do today?
No.
No. How about you, Naya? When you were younger, could you think of anything?
Well, there was one instance about flag. We had in 6th grade we did have a flag folding ceremony outside. I did not participate in it, but it was, I believe it was for Veterans Day, and one of the girls from my class came up to me and she asked me, well, why don't you salute the flag, or why don't you participate in these sorts of activities? And immediately Exodus chapter 20 verse 5 came into my mind about Jehovah being the God requiring exclusive devotion. And we had just studied in family worship and in the reasoning book about patriotism and saluting the flag and those things. So I was able to tell her that I pledge my allegiance to Jehovah and not to idols and not things that were not pertaining to Jehovah. So, and she respected that. So that was a good witness.
Okay, good. Yeah, it gave you a chance to witness to her too. So research your family had done beforehand kind of helped with that situation. And we know young ones, even older ones, can be a little bit cruel at times. Sometimes they know our weaknesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you think of a time when perhaps they knew your weaknesses?
Well, it was pertaining to a birthday. One of the kids in my class, he knew that my favorite dessert at that time was Krispy Kreme donuts. And yeah, for his birthday, so he brought Krispy Kreme donuts. So that was a challenge, but I overcame that. I did not eat a donut. So I was proud of myself
So you
there.
got home, right?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Now, the third question in our part asks, what has given you the courage to speak up about your Christian beliefs? So have you had an opportunity to witness further in school, Taj?
Yes, one time I was in science class and the students said he was an atheist when they were talking about the Big Bang. And then I kind of tell him, I spoke about Genesis 1:1, where it said that in the beginning God created all things. And then he said, well, it's still, the Big Bang is true. So the next day, I went home and I prayed, and I asked my mom what to do. And then next day I went to school and I brought him the creation worship. And I gave it to him, I told him what was in it, and I showed him. And then throughout the day he was reading it, and he wasn't speaking as much as he usually was. So I really, that really helped fill my head to see that he was actually thinking about it, and it affected him. So.
All right, excellent, excellent. So what gives you the courage to speak up?
Really, what gives me the courage to speak up is the only thing that can give you the courage is Jehovah. He is the only one that can actually give you the courage, and I extremely thankful that he did help me in that situation.
Excellent. Okay, good. And Naya, how about you?
Well, there was a time in 8th grade where this boy in my class, he told me that one of his relatives that he was closest to had just committed suicide. And so he was very downtrodden that day. And I was so sad at the fact that someone so young that would have to possibly go through that in their lives. So I went home that day and I prayed to Jehovah. I said, Jehovah, please help me to know what to say to this person, because I want to help him to not feel so bad. So I told my parents about it, and I decided to write him a letter. And in that letter, I included scriptures like 2 Corinthians 1, verse 3 and 4, talking about Jehovah being the God of all comfort, and John 5, verse 28 and 29, talking about all those in the Lord as who's being resurrected. So that he told me, after he read it, he said it helped a lot, and he was thankful for that. So I'm very glad about
Wow,
that.
that's nice. So your love for man helped you to have the courage to witness for your fellow student. Well, it's really encouraging to see the young ones that we have right here and in our congregation and the way they praise Jehovah by their actions and by their witnessing about Him. You know, it's not easy when you're young. It's not easy when you're old witnessing spontaneously like that for Jehovah, but it's our love for Him that helps us to do so. You guys have younger brothers and sisters that you set a fine example for, and young ones in the congregation here too, that you set a fine example. So thank you for giving us insight into your lives and showing us the examples you set for Jehovah.